All right, man, let's get into this episode. So I'm going to cover mostly basketball on here, but, you know, I am a fan of football too. And this news right here is just mind-boggling right now. I don't know what the Houston Texans are doing, man. And I kind of want to get straight into content again. Thank y'all for all the views and support. That's dope. But listen, man, Houston Texans, you guys on what they call football quicksand, man. What the hell are y'all doing? So if you've been hiding under a rock, you don't know. The Houston Texans traded off not only Deshaun Watson's #1 receiver, but one of the top receivers in the NFL, one of the few players on Madden. If you want to make the correlation like that with a 99 rating, they traded him in a late round pick to the Cardinals for David Johnson in a second rounder. Bruh. This is just so crazy on so many levels because there are so many. You know, this is the overpay era. Like, if you have a #1 guy who is a top-level talent, you can get so much value for him in the open market if you strike at the right time. Look at all the examples we've seen of players just giving complete overhauls for their services. You know, even Earl Thomas was demanding like a first. Well, Seattle was trying to get a first for Earl Thomas after asking for a second. And, you know, I just think they didn't want to give him what he wanted and send him to the Cowboys. I mean, Laramie Tunsil last year, and I'm about to get into that too, the Texans making these fly-by-night moves out of desperation, and they're not helping themselves. They're still in a desperate state. They are a worse football team than when they woke up this morning, and I'm going to tell you why. So, again, this has been the third big splash they've made, which led to them, you know, going to the playoffs, win the AFC South, and also pulling out a great come-from-behind victory to beat the Bills. It's the Bills. I mean, who cares? But that's something to build on. You know, now, do the Texans have a lot of holes? Yes. They actually wouldn't be able to pick for the first 60 picks of the draft, so I get where the need to trade talent for picks comes in. But if for Nuck, all you getting is a second-round pick and David Johnson? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's the best you can get? The same David Johnson who ran for 345 yards last year. He played in 13 games, so it's not like he wasn't playing now. Was he getting the touches that he's usually getting? Absolutely not. King and Drake got most of the touches. But it's the same David Johnson a year ago, ran for 940. Now, that's not nothing to shake a stick at, but that's not top of the league talent. Man, oh my goodness. I just don't get it, man. Like, you're basically trading for damaged goods. Arizona decided to move forward from, you know, let's keep it a buck. In 2016, David Johnson was one of the best running backs in the NFL. But the only problem with that is now 2020. It is no longer 2016, man, and you're basically giving value for a reputation, and that is just, I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know what Bill O'Brien's rationale is for this. I don't understand at all. Like, and so you made the splash for Laramie Tunsil, which is a position you need, man. You need a left tackle, man. Like, a left tackle is, I mean, besides a tight end and a good receiver, is your quarterback's best friend. That's going to protect your blind side for most right-handed quarterbacks, right? So you need to do that, but you gave up the first for Tunsil. You also went and got Duke Johnson. So for that tandem running back dynamic that you're trying to create. So him and Carlos Hyde looked, I mean, real good last year, right? So I guess with Hyde gone, you want to replace that. But with Daryl Johnson? I'm sorry, David Johnson? Come on, man. Come on. Stop it, man. Stop it. So I don't understand what they're doing. And it's a throwaway piece. Like, Arizona was thinking about buying David Johnson out, man. Like, so this is a guy they're looking just to basically discard. And the only reason why they didn't buy him out, because he's owed $13 million. If they did, you know, release him, they had to pay $16 million, you know, against the cap. So it's like, it's worth, you know, we'll say cheaper to keep him. You got to keep him around. And so they found a brother, to trade with them, and they got arguably the best receiver in football, not named Antonio Brown. Make that make sense to me, Houston Texans. I don't get it, man. So I'm over here tripping, man. I don't understand what act of desperation that came from. I mean, David Johnson's 28 years old, man. That's like, he's almost in the football glue factory. You know, most running backs bottom out like around 30. So And you traded. Y'all in the comments, man, tell me what y'all think about this. I just don't understand. I don't see how this plays well for the Texans. You're only getting a second-round pick. You're not, I would say at least at the bargaining table, you at least give me a receiver back or you give me a first-rounder. Like, that's just off the rip. Like, if we traded, so I'm a Cowboys fan, so if we traded for Amari Cooper and the prerequisite was at least a number one pick, Nuck is a better receiver than Amari Cooper. How do you only get a second-round pick and David Johnson out of that? You got a throwaway player and a second-round pick. That's tough, man. That's real tough, man. So we're going to see how this plays out. I mean, some of these prognostications don't age well, but I don't see this one turn into a smart decision, especially with the Texans doing all these last-ditch efforts to try to improve gaping holes over the past year. And those three trades I mentioned, those all took place within a year. So, again, man, the Texans, y'all in football quicksand, man. Y'all, and I'm seeing a lot of fallout over social media, man. A lot of my, again, I'm from Houston. A lot of folks are upset, man, and rightfully so. Like, this is not a good trade, man. Now, could Bill O'Brien prove to be this guy who proves us all wrong and we all look like assholes saying this? Perhaps. I doubt it, though. Nothing in his track record has shown he has that type of foresight, so I'm not going to give him that credit, man. So, I don't know, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think, man. I just think this is a asinine, to quote Stephen A. Smith, it's an asinine trade. And I just don't understand how this makes sense at all. I get it. You want to get in the first two rounds of action, but to trade your best receiver and not get pretty much, 3 Pokemon cards, a flat screen TV, and hell, a Hulu subscription service in return, I just don't understand how this makes sense, man. Somebody make this make sense to me, man. So one of my football heads, if you want to get in here and you want to tell me how this makes sense and prove me wrong, do that. Because right now, this seems like a dumbass trade, man. I'm going to call a spade, man. So y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Peace.